dishes or about the money or the schedule or whether the kids are being raised right. All those little conflicts that blow up into big arguments are really because you didn't feel valued in that moment. And value comes from our identity. What's your identity like? Do you have a strong identity? Do you know who you are? Because if you don't, and if you're challenged by not knowing your identity, guess what? It'll show up in your arguments, it'll show up in your fights. But today, we're going to give you 3 ways that you can totally become more confident, give you the skill and the strategy that we use to help you have more confidence and know your identity so you can have preventative measures and you don't have to win that fight. But before we get started, my name is Carlos, and my wife and I, Chantel and I, we are known as the Amish Matchmakers, not because we're Amish, we are not Amish, but because we've helped over 30 couples to come together in the last 6 years. We've matched them up, helped them develop skills to have an epic life, and we believe an epic life comes from epic marriages. So yes, we help Amish singles to find godly spouses, create epic marriages, and develop a legacy that is rooted in faith, freedom, and above all else, love. And today we're talking about conflict, the conflict code, and 3 core activities that we have worked on, developed, and simplified over the years to help us prevent conflict, or at least when we do have conflict, that it can be beneficial, help us to grow, an opportunity for growth. But it does take a strong identity. And that's what we're talking about today. Your MVP. We have many core activities, and one of them is developing and continue to develop your MVP. It's also a way that we plan. What's the mission? What's your mission? What's your vision? It's an acronym. And what is peculiar about you, and that peculiar is makes you unique and special and set apart, loved, blessed. It's a gift. And so today, I want to talk about how it is that knowing who you are and establishing and declaring your MVP can truly make a difference in conflict. When your identity isn't settled, every disagreement quietly becomes an attack on your self-worth, your identity. Someone says you're wrong about this, and it lands that you don't matter. Someone disagrees with your plan, and it feels like they're rejecting you. That's why small disagreements escalate into something so much bigger. You're not actually fighting about the issue anymore. You're fighting to protect your sense of value. And nobody wins that fight because the other person didn't even know what was happening. They didn't realize that you were feeling attacked, and you don't even realize it. It's a subconscious thing. We fight for our insecurities. We fight for our limitations. But the crazy part about it is when you fight for your limitations or your insecurities, you get to keep them. What we need to fight for is what we're becoming. What we need to fight for is unity. What we need to fight for is clarity, love, honor, blessings. It matters. So when your mission, MVP, your mission, vision, and peculiar are declared, settled, your identity isn't up for debate. And an argument won't affect it then. You can handle it. You can. But you may not be able to handle it right now. But knowing and understanding and working on that identity truly helps you in conflict. You can't do it during conflict, obviously. You can lose a disagreement and still know exactly who you are. It's super powerful. Hang out then. Okay. All right. There you go. You're ready to take a nap, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. My beautiful girl, Kayla, my granddaughter. She Papa loves you. She's ready. She's ready to take a little sleep. She's getting sleepy eyed. Let's talk about how a settled MVP really confirmed MVP, it will raise your confidence level and prevent a conflict from escalating into a full blown dramatic argument. Okay, because it's important. Number one, 3 ways the MVP can help you is a secure identity separates the issue from your worth. You can hear that decision was wrong instead of you are worthless. Those are two completely different sentences. That insecure identity will merge into one. It's important to be secure in who you are. We do have a very powerful and simple process. What is the mission that you would like to fulfill in life? What is it that you are becoming? What is that? And that's the vision of how what I am becoming is my future self, best self. How am I improving? What am I doing to improve? And then peculiar, knowing what's unique about you, knowing what everyone else on the planet kind of feels uncomfortable around you because of this certain trait. That's your peculiar, but it's a good thing. It's how God designed you and set you apart to really impact, to make a difference on this planet, to contribute. Number 2, you can say I was wrong without it costing you anything. If your value doesn't come from being right, then being wrong won't be so dangerous, won't be so scary. And it's super powerful when you can admit that you're wrong, when you can take responsibility and even ask for forgiveness. There's been many times I'll tell you, I'll share a story about, in particular on the job as a boss, as an employer, and I have employees, right, and hire guys and hire men and women. They work for us over the years, and we years ago I went out to a job site. Man, I was super frustrated by the job site and how messy it was. I remember just pulling aside the lead guy and I said, "This is a pigsty, man. These guys are never gonna refer us. No, they're never gonna hire us again. We're gonna get someone's gonna get hurt and we're gonna get sued." Like I talked about all the negative things and all the bad things that could happen because of the job site was a mess. And it was interesting because I remember walking away from that. And I've been talking about this stuff for years, by the way. Epic Your Life is not new. We've been around and processing through these kind of strategies and skills for over like 15 years now, Chantel and I. So in that moment, and this was probably a good 10 years ago or so, in that moment, I was like, wow, what did I just do? I declared all the negative. I declared everything that's wrong. Right? We have 2 trees in the garden. We have the tree of life. We have the tree of knowledge of right and wrong, or what we think is right and wrong, right? That's supposedly the tree of like discerning what's right and wrong. But the reality is, what is love? And in that moment, I was able to gather myself and admit that I was wrong. I remember going back to that guy and saying, and on that same day, even saying, you know what? I was wrong. Please forgive me. The way that I just treated you and the way that I spoke to you was not honoring. There's a better way. And then I proceeded to say, and I really want us to get referrals. And when we have a clean job site, organized job site, it's a safer environment. We can work more efficiently, we can get more done. People feel more at peace. The client is going to tell everyone about us, and our company is going to grow and thrive. Do you see how it's literally the same thing, but one is speaking life and one is telling them they're wrong? You follow me? It's just a subtle difference, but it matters. It makes all the difference. The point being is number 2, when you have a strong identity and you know who you are, you can admit that you're wrong. You can ask for forgiveness. And not just at work. What about at home with your wife? What about with your children? Even when they're younger and you have a harsh tone with them or you blow up at them. I've done that too. And to go to my children and ask for forgiveness, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I was not honoring in the way I spoke to you. Will you forgive me? And then teaching your children to say, I forgive you, I release you, and I bless you, right? Because you do want them to release and then bless, become in the flow of blessings. Are you following me? Like this stuff is all straight from the Bible. To love and bless and give is all what God taught us through his word, throughout his word. Number 3, how the MVP, having a strong identity, can help you. It stops you from needing to win in order to feel secure. You can lose an argument and still walk away feeling whole, feeling strong and confident. It's really amazing how that works. And it is possible. I promise you that. It matters. How you see yourself really does matter. So let me have you write this down. Got a pen and paper? In your last real conflict, were you defending an issue or were you defending your self value, your self worth? I want you to think about this because we will often have excuses, we'll defend, we'll justify. I do it. Our insecurities. We will defend and justify and fight for our limitations and things that we are not confident in. That's why we have to fight for them because we're not confident. I'm telling you. I want you to think back that last big conflict you had, that cycle you went through of arguing and going through it with your spouse or with family member. What was that like? What did it feel like? And what were you defending your self-worth, your value? Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. You are valuable. You're worthy of knowing your value and you're worthy of being loved. If you're single, I'm sure it gets lonely. Sure, you're frustrated by the fact that it feels like you're never going to get married. You're never going to find a girlfriend or boyfriend. I can understand that's very, very frustrating. But guess what? It's tied to the fact that you don't value yourself. That inner child or that story you're telling yourself is that you're going to always be single. It's time to change that. It's time to disrupt that flow of that story. It's time for you to gain new level of confidence where you don't have to win, that you can actually be blessed by allowing others to win and to be heard and to be seen, just like you value that. You can encourage others and inspire others. A guarded, settled heart doesn't need the argument to go their way to stay whole and intact. Before your next disagreement, remind yourself of your MVP. Do you have an MVP? We have a simple process over on our school group, Epic Your Life. See it over there. If you go to SKOOL / Epic Your Life, or go to school and look up Epic Your Life, and you'll find our community, our group there. We have lots more content there. We have what's called Connection DNA. Takes you through the whole process to reprogram your DNA for what? For connection. We developed it during COVID time. It's an 8-week, 40-session course. It can make a difference for you. Through the process of repetition, it will bring forth connection, love, affection, deeper, more meaningful relationships. You're worthy of feeling that and knowing that. And part of that in that process is how to develop your MVP. It's a simple process and it's constantly in refinement. I'm constantly in refinement of my identity. And then you create identity phrases, declarations that you can write out or you can constantly speak out. I am a master catalyst of metamorphosis through love and kindness. I bring change and transformation. Transformation is my motivation. I love to learn. I love to grow. I love to change and become better. I love helping others do the same. That's who I am. And when I see people hurting and I see people attacking and coming at me, I don't have to take it personal because I know that love will transform their lives. So I can attack what's attacking me. They're coming at me, I can come at them, but with love, with honor, with blessing, with gratitude. Try it. It works. But again, only a secure, confident identity can do these things. And sometimes you do it even if you don't feel confident, but the more you do it, the more confident you become. Super powerful. So before your next agreement, remind yourself of your MVP. Is it on your refrigerator? Is it on the dashboard of your car? Is it on your mirror? Can you declare it over? Do you have a MVP declaration? Practice separating I disagree from I am under attack. They're not the same sentence. They're not attacking you. It's good and healthy and beneficial for them to disagree with you. You should welcome it. Good leaders do. Great leaders empower people that don't agree with them. Seriously, it's amazing. Do you have that ability? If you don't, it's okay. You can. And I believe in you. Go work on it. On Friday, taking a day off tomorrow, but on Friday, we will come back and talk about our Epic 30 process. That sums it all up, puts it all together to fill those love banks and help you become more and more confident in who you are. So we had Triggers to Triumph, which helped you to create a new story. Understand that the old trauma story isn't beneficial. It's going to keep you stuck. And then the MVP today, talking about creating that best identity, how that matters, and what it can do for you. And then on Friday, we'll talk about Epic 30. What's a daily activity that I can implement and it be beneficial to my identity and be beneficial to help prevent conflict, to fill my love banks and to fill others' love banks, to connect to the Father and connect with each other. Super powerful. Gain the strength and the compassion and the energy to create space for clarity, create space for restoration. You're worthy of it. God bless you. Have a great day. And I pray that God will bless you through this process we're going through. And I want to ask you something. Would you be willing to make a comment on this recording? Like, subscribe. We have a YouTube channel called the Amish Matchmakers. And we love to help Amish singles find godly spouses, create an epic marriage, and develop a legacy that is rooted in faith, freedom, and above all else, love. Have a great day, and we will see you on the next session. Part 4 coming up. Don't miss it.